Hello and welcome to the Monthly Marquee. I'm your host, Bart Lovins, Director for the Hardin County Schools Performing Arts Center. Our first guest today is Tamara Stewart, singer-songwriter and the creator, I'm going to say right now, we'll get more information from her, creator of Lest We Forget. Tamara, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we've gotten acquainted over conversations with Lori Drury and our morning of interviews and being in limousine, Skaggs Limousine provides for us for this particular day. But for those of our audience who may not be familiar with you, what is it that you do?
Well, that's a very good question. That's great. That was beautifully done. I'm a singer-songwriter by trade, I say. I've been writing songs since I was 10 years old. It's my passion. But I've also, in recent years, since moving to Nashville, working with various centres for addiction and trauma, and also more recently here in Kentucky with the Kentucky veterans, and using songwriting as a tool, a modality for healing and connection, but to capture those stories that are just so incredibly important. So I sort of facilitate that. We've created albums and music and all of that. It's hard to put it down into a bite-sized thing, but that's essentially what brings me to this chair talking to you today. Well, and
this will be the creation of a third album.
Yes.
Lest We Forget Volume 3.
Correct.
The last two were, you did concerts.
Yes.
Release concerts, whatever we want to call them.
Yeah.
Those were at the State Theater.
Yes.
And just looking for a different venue, a larger venue as the program grows. Now, you've gone to this well.
Yeah.
For inspiration. This would be the third time now. What's the progression of this experience from you, from the first album to now the third?
It's amazing to look back to that first record, because essentially I'm brought into these rooms, into these groups, just to work with the veterans and to sit and tell stories. So we continue to do those sessions every week, and I get to work across all 4 veteran centres. But it was from hearing those songs and hearing the power and the value in the connection and the healing that they decided to make the first album, which we released in March of 2020, just before the world went
crazy.
Yes, beautifully said. And then so I continued my sessions throughout pandemic, however we could, with the veterans, and a lot of them were, some isolated in rooms and things like that. So whether it was via Zoom, we kept those songs going, and we ended up last year in 2021, we released the second album, which included that part of history. And so these guys are writing about pandemic and also still about war trauma and other things. And then somehow here we are at Lest We Forget Volume 3, which we're releasing as a trilogy with this final album, with the show. So it's just evolved, and it's an anomaly. It's something I've never been involved before. And as I say, I've been writing songs for 37-something years. So it's just been mind-blowing to me how the songs keep showing up.
Well, and it's of course songs written about their stories of being involved in the military and being veterans, but it's so much more than that, because we're so much more than the job that we do.
Yes.
It's about their families, it's about their histories as well. Fun stories as well as tear-jerking stories.
Yeah, look, we've laughed, we've cried. I've heard things that I never would have heard or learned. I mean, as an immigrant to this country as well, I'm learning about American history. As much as, they have served, some of them World War II, of course Vietnam and Korean War, and since their time serving, they've been parents and grandparents, and they've had other experiences in their life. So we capture a little bit of what would be described as war experience, but there's so much more, the loss of loved ones. They process it all and they say it so beautifully, and it really is, as a creative, it's a dream come true, and as a human, as a daughter and a granddaughter, I get to sort of experience that as well.
And many of the veterans who you've worked with, whose stories you've adapted to song, they will be in attendance at the concert as well, and after the concert we'll be signing the CDs.
Yes, and it's wonderful. Last year, because of pandemic, we couldn't, because of the state restrictions. This year, they will be in attendance, and I'm very excited about everyone who comes to the show, but to look down and see those those guys and gals. It really is incredibly rewarding. And the show will be laughter, it will be it will be all things happy and all things worth hearing for sure.
Well, it's a great way to celebrate not only these veterans, but being in the month of November, it's a way to give thanks.
Yes.
It's a way to appreciate and to enjoy everything that these veterans mean to us in our lives. This will be on November 12th.
That's correct. Yeah.
At the Hardin County Schools Performing Arts, and we're just really thankful to have you and have you part of our season.
Well, I'm excited about it, and I think it's a perfect match, and I'm really excited for your audience to come and see what we do, and we'll bring our own as well. And it's going to be a night to remember, that's for sure. Thank
you very much, Tamara.
Thank you.
Our next guest is Abigail Harper, a senior from Meade County High School who will be performing as Cinderella in the ballet Cinderella this month at the PAC. Abby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for doing this morning. We've been going around doing radio interviews. This is our first TV interview. You are a senior at Meade County High School. And how long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing since I was 3, so 14 years.
So I know that people are watching and hearing that and their jaws are dropping. So how is it that you started dancing at 3?
There was at the community center, there was a woman that was just teaching like little kids ballet, and then I did that for 2 years and realized that it was something that I would really want to pursue. So me and my parents found a dance studio in Radcliffe, Allegro Dance Theater, and I've been there ever since.
And you've tried other things too, right? You've done some sports and stuff. What was it that turned the tide that you focused and concentrated on dance instead of some of the other things you're involved in? Which I think it's really great because it's important for students to get to experience as many different things as possible.
Really the performance aspect, like getting to go in front of everyone and just perform instead of like a softball game. It's not as personal, I don't feel.
Not as expressive?
Right. Like I can tell my story without even talking, doing ballet. Like it's just crazy.
Well, that's interesting. Let's explore that just a little bit, because I think when people think about dance, if they think about going to a prom or dancing at a wedding or that kind of thing, dancing is exciting. Dancing has a lot of movement, but I don't know that everyone can grasp the idea of dance being used to tell a story. And I know with Allegro Dance Theater, who's doing Cinderella the ballet, you've done several story-based ballet. So how do you use dance to tell a story when there's no words to share with the audience?
One of the biggest things I think about in the storytelling process is my dance teacher, he really, whenever we're practicing our solos or our different variations, he'll tell us to make up a story in your mind. And then once you have that story in your mind, it's easier to convey it to the audience. So that's really what I think about, is just knowing what I'm thinking about and making the story myself, and then I feel like the audience can capture it more.
So have you started rehearsals for Cinderella yet?
Yes, we started 5 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going every single Friday, 4 to 7, 3 hours. After dance classes all week, it's a lot of rehearsal.
Well, and so it's a lot of rehearsal, but you're also taking classes at the same time.
Yes.
So how many hours, how many days a week are you at the studio?
We're going Monday through Friday, every day, and I'm there from 4 to 9, 5 to 9. It really depends on what classes I'm taking. I teach 2 classes. I teach level 1 ballet, so 4 and 5-year-olds, and then I teach intermediate modern, so a big range of ages and different genres of dance, and then I'm taking ballet, jazz, modern, so I do everything, and then we have rehearsals on top of that, so I'm there all the time.
That's a huge commitment.
It is.
I can see a lot of students or families looking at that commitment and going, that's a lot of time away from family, away from friends.
I go to school and I come home for an hour and eat dinner and change, and then I'm at dance till 9, and then I come home and shower and then go to bed. I really don't have much home time.
You must really love it.
I do.
So much, in fact, that you're looking at this is possibly the career path for you.
Yes.
And what are you planning to do? You're going to Western in the fall?
Yes, I've been accepted into Western, and I'm going to audition for the dance program in February. And then I'm planning on majoring in dance and then having a minor in arts administration so that eventually I can run my own studio, teach dance, and just keep doing what I love.
Well, you're just saying that you're teaching the beginning ballet students who are around the age that you were when you started.
Yes.
Do you see yourself in them?
Yes, I do. I can see, because like seeing the different like types of little kids and like knowing their like commitment to it as well. Like there are definitely different, like I can see different things in each one of them.
What do you think it means to those girls, for the most part, I'm assuming, to get to see you play Cinderella?
I think I find it so like huge that they can like see me as a student also teaching little ones, and then we ask like questions every class. So when I asked what their favorite Disney princess one was, and then like little ones would say Cinderella, and it was like that's going to be me. So it's so fun to see like the different like aspects in kids coming out in me as well.
Yes, exactly. And I think that speaks to your desire to be a teacher.
Yes.
Yeah. Abigail, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Folks, you can learn more about Cinderella the Ballet by going to thepack.net. Those performances will be the week before Thanksgiving. Don't miss it. Next up on the program, please welcome Miss Priscilla Scarborough. Priscilla, this is Abigail Harper. She's going to be my co-host for the rest of the show. What's going on, ma'am?
Everything.
I heard you say sleigh bells are jingling.
Yes, from my desk at the State Theater, I can actually hear sleigh bells. And so it is really exciting. We're preparing for the best Christmas ever. As you know, Christmas in Elizabethtown is iconic. It feels like a Hallmark movie. And that's what it's all about. Christmas is a feeling. Christmas is that love and just memories that we cherish. So I was just going to talk a little bit about, some of the activities coming up, and then I really don't want to forget about Veterans Day, because sometimes I think, as soon as we put the pumpkins away, it's time for the tree to go up. And Mariah Carey, is doing a sound check. We really need to remember our veterans. And so we do have a Veterans Day celebration that is oftentimes forgotten. So I really want to discuss that. That is actually coming up Friday, November the 11th, over at the Veterans Tribute at the Elizabethtown Nature Park.
Oh.
We have an amazing celebration every year from 11 to 12. We encourage folks to bring a chair. We gather and we hear some phenomenal speakers. We have folks from Fort Knox that come in. We have the Color Guard. We have the men's choir performs. I mean, it's just a really, really great gathering, just a moment to just stop and
Take a moment.
Take a moment and let's honor those veterans. Okay, so so that's going to be going on. The bulk of everything else is kind of Christmas. So, like I said, I can hear the sleigh bells ringing. So, our next biggest thing is on November the 7th. We have a couple of different tickets going on sale. So every year, the first Saturday of December, the Historic State Theater has Breakfast with Santa. So super fun time for our parents to bring their little ones to have that little personal experience with Santa. And then a delicious breakfast, tons of photo ops, and it's just a really great family event. So those tickets go on sale on the 7th, which is a Monday. Also, same day is the Holly Jolly Trolley tickets. So for, I guess everyone has seen Christmas in the Park. Well, we have the shuttle that goes through Christmas in the Park, and then it concludes with a really great personal Santa experience as well, to where you can visit with Santa, you can have that photo op, hot cocoa, cookies, all that really great memory-making goodness.
When is that?
So all the tickets are going to go on sale Monday, November the 7th.
Okay.
Okay, and you can get those on our website.
But the Holly Jolly Trolley is...
The Holly Jolly Trolley runs on weekends all
Got
throughout
it.
the month of December. So we that'll start.
Lots of opportunity there.
Right,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
and then there's several rotations each night. So that'll be like Friday, December the 2nd, and then Saturday, December the 3rd. So each night, Friday and Saturday nights, the trolley's running. So there's lots of opportunities, but those tickets do sell out super quick because everyone wants to see Santa, And I mean, of course,
Yeah.
he's the big guy, So, and then towards the end of the month, we have the Eric and Joe Show. I really wanted to mention them because this year they're always just so authentic and real. And this year they're giving to the Home of the Innocents. They're proceeds from their from their event, and you can go to the ericandjoeshow.com, and their tickets are on sale now, and so that's a really, really great cause, and they're hilarious. I mean, you're gonna laugh. You're just gonna laugh. So Christmas, like I said, sleigh bells are ringing. So at the State Theater, we of course are preparing our Christmas movie lineup, which most years, or most of the movies are just, cherished favorites that really are fan favorites that are like, yes, do that again, do that again. So this year, all of those movie tickets will go on sale on Friday, November the 18th. So if you want to get online and go ahead and pre-purchase those tickets.
And again, I think those go fast as well.
Well, the theater seats 650. So we're really good on that. Now that we have no restrictions, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. So we have everything from It's a Wonderful Life, Polar Express, the Elf movie, White Christmas, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which I'm just going to add in on that one. We always have an ugly sweater contest with that one, so that one's fun. And then, of course, The Grinch. So, yeah, and then also in November, we're wrapping up the parade applications. So, as you know, in conjunction with Light Up Downtown Elizabethtown, we have the epic, amazing Christmas parade that is so fun. And like I said, it's the charm. It's iconic Elizabethtown. So, yeah, so those parade applications, the deadline is November the 15th, and those are available online as well. So we encourage all dance studios and everything to apply and put that application in because we want to see you.
So as you can tell, Abigail, there's a lot involved. We always talk about, we just run the theater. But she's doing parades, she's doing all kinds of things.
It's all of it.
Anything strike a chord with you? Anything you wanted to ask her?
Just like the administration side, all the planning, how much are you working on getting all of these things put together?
Oh.
All the time?
all the time. So it is definitely more than a full-time job. Multiple people. The city events coordinator, Sarah Vaughn, will coordinate a lot of those, like the parades and those events. And then you have the theater director, Beth Piles, she's one of the ones who brings in all of the concerts and organizes. And you wouldn't believe, but just one production, there's so much that goes into it. Everything from the lighting, the sound, the organizing, the rehearsals, and everything. So there's just a lot that goes into each event. Event, there's so many logistics and sometimes obstacles, but it's really great. We really love what we do.
And how can we learn more?
Yes. Our website, which is thestate270.org, or go to etownevents.com for all of the great eTown events like the Light Up Downtown, the Christmas in the Park, the parade, and all of those really great Santa experiences.
Priscilla, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next guest on the program is Ms. Carmen Caldera representing the Elizabethtown school system. And I say that because I used to always say the Elizabethtown Performing Arts Center.
Yes.
But your role within the school system has changed somewhat.
It has. I'm still the director of the Performing Arts Center, but I'm also the director of arts. So just trying to elevate and expand our offerings in the arts for
Elevate
our
is a big word for you guys right now.
It is. But that's exactly what we're trying to do. The arts have always been a big part of our school system, but we're ready to take that to the next level because our students are ready for it to go to the next level.
And what are you doing to take things to the next level?
Well, we had our first ever meeting of all of our arts faculty from Panther Academy through the high school so that we could get a big picture because everybody kind of works in their own building with their own students and trying to get a big picture of what do we want students to have when they graduate? And how do we get there?
Like a feeder school kind of situation where you're building off of the talents and skills that were developed by the teacher before you?
Yes, because we are a small district, and that's very good for something like what we're trying to do with elevating the arts, because we can start at Panther Academy, and we know those are our preschoolers, our kindergartens.
And you got them.
And we've got them. Mm-hmm. They're going to split off to two separate elementary schools, so we want to be sure that They're gaining the same skills, maybe in different ways, but they're gaining the same skills so that when they
go
come back
two
together.
middle schools come back to high school.
No, 2 elementaries come back to middle school.
Got it.
And then go on to the high school.
Understood.
So they only split for elementary. So then being sure that both sets are ready to go on to the middle school and ready to tackle the same curriculum, and then move on to the high school ready to compete for Governor's School for the Arts, or follow an art pathway, or whatever it is that works for that student. And we know not all students are going to grow up to be artists, but if they grow up to be supporters of the arts because they gained a love and appreciation for it throughout their 13, 14 years of school with us, then to me that's a success.
Well, and we've been talking a lot today about pathways to the arts, and everyone, you are very interested in dance and majoring in dance. I think it's incredibly shows a lot of forethought to be looking at arts administration. Dancing is a young career.
It really is.
It is.
At some point, as a dancer, you've got to figure out where that transition is to teacher. And you're already teaching some now, so you know exactly what I mean. It's very hard on the body. So you've got to be thinking ahead. And what made you decide on I know Miss Carol will come into this answer in some way, but what made you realize it wasn't a career to be a dancer so much it was, I want to open my own school?
I really like the business side behind it, like getting dance classes scheduled together for everyone to be there at a certain time, and then rehearsal times to get everyone together.
You like doing that?
Yes, I like schedules. I like planning. I am a very big planner.
That's wonderful. That is very needed.
Yes, yeah, because that's what we deal with all the time. At least half, if not 75% of our job is scheduling.
Yes, scheduling, managing people, juggling other people's schedules. Yes.
What are you juggling right now?
Right now,
that's called a transition.
Yes, a very good one too. We are transitioning into that time of year when everybody's getting ready for holiday performances. So we have a TK Stone showcase that's November 15th. Parents should be hearing about that on their social media and through information sent home. We are starting up Drama Club back at TK Stone, first time post-pandemic. So that will be starting next month as well. And then we are doing our first holiday show that's actually going to be presented by the EPAC because we will be using not only students from the high school, but also probably from the middle school and maybe even elementary to do a radio drama of It's a Wonderful Life that was actually written by an Elizabethtown alum, Vatican Loki, who now runs NOLA Voice Theater in New Orleans. And it's his adaptation, and he is going to be working with us via Zoom some too. So it'll be a fun new endeavor for us.
And what's down the horizon for you as far as where are you looking to go with Elizabethtown as far as elevating these programs?
We are still having that discussion because
I'm getting the cart before the horse. Sorry.
It's fine, but it's a process because it's not what my vision is; it's what all of our visions are together. And so we've had that one meeting to kind of plant the seed that this is what we need to think about, and then we'll meet again and we'll talk about all the things that they've had time to kind of mull over and look at what they've been doing and what they want to do and how can we facilitate that. With, like you said, Elevate is a big thing with E-Town right now. We are going through a strategic planning process, and we have been traveling to other districts to see what they are doing. And so bringing that information back to them and talking about what we've learned through those processes, it's going to be a long process, but hopefully by the fall of next year we will have a set trajectory of where are we going to go.
Kind of a new era. That's really exciting.
Yes, it is very, very exciting.
Well, we're excited to learn more as you go through the process as we check in every month.
Yes.
And how can people stay on top of what's going on?
That would be our Facebook page, Elizabethtown Performing Arts Center. And everything is posted there as far as events and all of that.
Great. Carmen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, folks, that is going to wrap things up for this month. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next month on the Monthly Marquee.